here. I hope everybody's doing well. It's been a bit since I've done a reading. I had technical difficulties, and it drove me fucking crazy, I have to say. I was like, maybe I shouldn't be doing readings online anymore, because that's about where I was, like the universe took me to the edge where I was like, maybe this isn't it. But for now it's worked out, so I'm happy. So I decided to do a reading, just different themed. Decided to do one on, let's see if you can see this. There we go. What is the best next step for me to take? So I have this little deck that I got that has all of these random subjects, and I picked this out of the best 3 that came out. So I thought, hey, a lot of people are at a crossroads where, whether it be romantic or professional or your university or whatever, and you just kind of need to know which way to go, or, we all have free will. I mean, honestly, there isn't a wrong answer. It's just simply a different answer, a different outcome. A lot of the times we make the decisions based on what we fear the outcome would be, not necessarily, and we're only basing that on our experience, which isn't much, to be honest with you. So for us to hold so much weight on what a bad outcome should be versus a good one isn't really logical, because we haven't experienced the actual decisions on either side in order to know which is bad and which is good. We kind of make these agreements in our mind about what is a good decision and what's a bad decision, and kind of navigate our lives that way, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. So I have 3 decks here. This is the Cosmic Tarot deck. This is Desert Illuminations deck, and this is the Stained Glass Tarot deck. Okay, this is labradorite, I believe. It's labradorite. This is a little amethyst cluster, and this is howlite. All right, so you can pause the video right now and kind of go with whatever deck feels good to you, aesthetically, or just feels right. Or you could just listen to all of them if it helps you make your decision, and enjoy. So please like and subscribe, by the way. My channel is super tiny, so any, shares or likes or any growth can, be a good thing. I just want to get whatever messages that I'm called to bring out there to people. So if you can subscribe and like, that would be awesome. All right, thanks for stopping by, and I am going to start the piles. This is going to be pile 1, this is going to be pile 2, and this is going to be pile 3. All right, pile 1, you chose the labradorite and the Cosmic Tarot. I think I'm saying that wrong. I think it's Cosmic something tarot, but it's a beautiful tarot deck. It has like this blue kind of gilded sides here. So let's see, what decision for pile 1? What is the best decision for pile 1? Whether it is money, love, education, family drama. Let's see what comes out for you. Pile 1. Best steps for pile 1 to take, please, Spirit. Wow, I can't take all of that. That's like a whole stack. Best ones, please. You can fast forward through this too. I like doing live shuffles so that people can see that these cards aren't like pre-picked out for a certain outcome. I don't know if people really do that. I mean, I guess legit tarot readers would not do that, Okay, I'll start with these 3. All right, we have... I don't read reversals also, just so you know. Okay, so right off the bat, it's clear to me that you have been having a lot of anxiety about whatever the decision is. And I think that you feel like it's going to make a huge impact in your life somehow. We have, at the end here, we have the Ten of Swords. I'm going to just like, yeah, these are matte, so hopefully there's not that much shine. Interestingly, it has a scorpion right there. So, you know, usually the Ten of Swords swords are all about intellect and decision making, learning, education, epiphanies, brainstorms, all of that. But when you get them, the more swords you get, kind of the more you have to think along the lines of having anxiety, paralyzing anxiety that does not allow you to move. Like when I think about the scorpion, and I think about how, you know, when there's big insects or animals do this, they when they encounter something that they don't know, they kind of stay still, you know, try to look as big as they can. Cats do that all the time. To kind of ward off the predator, trick the predator. So yeah, there's definitely stagnancy and ruminating over whatever decision you have to make. You know, the World card is a major arcana card. And in tarot, the major arcana is the first 22 cards of the deck, and it usually indicates, these cards indicate more movement in whatever the question is. So more movement as far as the answer for the question. So the World is talking about usually passing through a chapter, passing through some type of gateway in your life that will either define you or give you a different, like when you think about like a woman becoming a mother or becoming a teacher or you know, you're a doctor now, or becoming married, kind of those kind of rites of passage types of changes in your life. Starting a business is another one. So going from one transition to the other, but usually it's about, you know, acquiring, you know, learning through that process, right? Like you come out transformed. It's not simply closing a chapter and opening another one. So it's more like finishing a book and then, you know, completely starting a new path after that book, kind of thing, is the way it makes me feel, that card. The Nine of Coins is about being independent. It's about being single, not needing anything from anyone, a lot about self-love, about being grounded, a lot of healing that you've done on your own. Okay? So for me, it feels like these cards should be this way. So it feels like there might be a transition here from maybe what's causing, you know, being in a state of anxiety because of a transition, either to become single or financially independent, or going out on your own, like breaking off from a partnership and going out on your own business-wise. So let's see if we're right. Let's see if what else the universe wants to say about this, because this is a bit interesting. I wonder what you got going on. All right. Tell us more about the Ten of Swords, please, and direction on the next step. We got all three cards, so we're going to do that. All right. Do you hear birds? That's weird. Okay, so let me just tell you, I am in my closet. I have like a walk-in closet, and that's where I have this all set up. And and it's part of my bathroom. So my bathroom's door is shut, and there is a vent above me that right now doesn't have the air conditioning on. And I hear birds. I don't know if it's going to get caught on camera, but I totally hear birds. So that is a sign for someone. Because I've been doing tarot readings in this place for years, and I have never heard birds. And I don't know if my mic is really high and I'm just catching the birds, but that's significant. And they're tweety little birds. They're not like turtle doves that do the little. They're not that. They're not pigeons. They're tweety birds. That is amazing. Okay, so underneath the Ten of Swords, we have the Wheel of Fortune, which is very similar. It reminds me of the World, but they're two different cards. That is amazing. Okay, I have to see if it comes out in the video or not, the birds that I'm hearing. Maybe you have an ancestor or someone who's passed away, and birds are the sign that you had between each other to show that the person is guiding you. Maybe a grandmother or a grandfather or an uncle. Okay, so this for sure makes me feel like this is about a job position that you're looking for or that you're trying to make a decision about. The Wheel of Fortune, usually depending on the card before it and the card after it, will kind of tell you which direction to go. And we did ask for like absolute direction. Then we got the Three of Coins. And the Three of Coins really usually is depicted by somebody doing some artwork on a temple and showing off their artwork. Like, so collaborating, working on a team, working with people that are like-minded, that understand where you're coming from when in terms of being creative, or putting a plan in place. And then you got the cosmic seed, which I think it's like the sun, I believe. I might be wrong about that, but I believe it is. Oh no, it's last card. Yeah, I think it is the sun. So I think that if you're asking about whether you should go out on your own or not, I would say that the universe is kind of directing you to not go on your own, but to stay or find a place where you can be more creative, more collaborative, more impactful. Positives of working with other people is that you don't have to do absolutely everything. You can delegate. When you're working with a group of people that are like-minded, you can have trust in your heart about giving tasks to other people and trusting that they're going to have you in mind, or I should say the team or the mission in mind when they're making decisions, and that is going to lead you out for the best outcome. So maybe this insecurity, I think the idea of being out on your own, or you want to make a change, but you just don't know what kind of change you need to make, can cause a lot of anxiety. Because especially our gut kind of tells us, and with making decisions, that's the best way to go about it. Not kind of staying in your head and being like, what's the best decision? Because you've never done either of those choices, right? So saying what the best decision isn't the question to ask. For the highest good for myself, what's going to be the best, what's going to be the most impactful route to go, because going on your own probably would still teach you great things and still turn out you'll grow from it, and other people will grow from it, whose path you cross. Would it be a harder path? Maybe. Would there be more challenges? Maybe. Doesn't mean that this path, going off with a group, is not going to be challenging either, right? There could be challenges there too. For the best outcome, right here with the cosmic seed is saying absolutely. Working with a group that is like-minded is the best decision for you to make, is going to have the best outcome. Okay, so pile 1 kind of ended short and quick there, but yeah, I feel it to be a little, synchronistic or a little amazing that I'm hearing birds on top of my house while I'm doing this reading. So if that's the case, comment with a little bird in the comment section, or even write like what that might mean to you. And hopefully this reading resonated for you, and I wish you the absolute best in your journey. And just know that ultimately you're going to learn, and other people along your path are going to learn from whatever you're going through in your life. So if it is going to be with getting going with a different group and collaboration and going into business with someone else, or whatever the case may be, that is going to be for your highest good. Either way, you're going to learn, but this, for the best outcome, it would be definitely working with others. Okay? So I wish you the best. Thank you. Bye. That is so crazy that I hear birds. Okay. I still hear the birds. Amazing. Maybe I can hear them because the air conditioning is not on. And this is interesting. All right. Pile 2. Hola. How are you? All right. You picked the amethyst cluster. Okay. And the Desert Illuminations Tarot. All right. Let's check it out and let's see What decision needs to be made, and what is the best one? So pile one was pretty amazing, I have to say. It was short and sweet, but it definitely was straightforward and direct. So let's see what you get here. So for pile two, oh, hold on now. I just saw the Three of Cups, so let's see. So like I said, this could be romantic. This could be for business. It could be for education. We'll see what happens. What is the best next step for pile two, please, Spirit? Tell me about it. Tell me next step for pile two, please. Excuse me. Get some water. Okay, so that is interesting. I've got the Nine of Pentacles in pile one. So there might be a message for you in pile one. And this was the position of it too. That's interesting. Okay, so we have the Magician, we have the Five of Pentacles, and then we have the Nine of Pentacles. The Magician talks about, you know, let's see if you can see it. Yeah. There we go. The Magician talks about like manifesting. So the Magician usually has all four suits of tarot. So the coins, the wands, the swords, and the pentacles all together. And the idea is really being able to create your own reality, being able to look at your situation and really, you know, the world is your oyster, right? You can go any direction. And I think maybe that might be you know, a message, you know, that universe has for you. Like, you do remember that you have everything already, kind of. You just have to, you know, go for whatever the decision is for your highest good. And maybe that's where you're like, you might be, the other day I was listening to a tarot reader explain it, and it's interesting because I kind of do this myself where, you know, I don't want to be greedy, or I don't want to be selfish when I'm asking for help with the universe. And I'm sure that has something tied to like religion, that this crazy church I was a part of for many years. But this idea where, you know, you have to be, you know, humble and grateful servant, and, you know, not ask for too much. And it's not like that. You know, like, it really isn't like that. Like, this planet is here to teach us a lot of things while we have this lifetime. And we, you know, no matter what your belief system is, whether you believe you have a purpose here or not, or whether you came here on purpose or not, we did kind of make a decision to come here to really, you know, have that second chance to, or third or 1,000th chance to do things right, make the best decisions for the highest good for us. And thus, you know, that moves forward and spills over into the people in our lives around us. But for some reason, the Five of Pentacles is a card that talks about being left out in the cold. You know, not having support, not feeling like you have the financial support, the family support. If you're trying to go to school, that could be a big issue with finances, or even support in, like, if you were a single parent, or you need different types of support. You take care of a parent, or whatever that might be. So you're feeling left out on the cold, and you want this independence. Like, ideally, this is what you want. The Nine of Pentacles is about being completely carefree. Excuse her boobies. She's got like 8 of them. I don't know why YouTube is so careful. I need to open up like a Rumble or a Patreon, I think, so I could do my sexy time readings and not have to worry about this. But anyway, I think far away you can't really see. So this is about being independent. It's about like being financially independent, even breaking out on your own when it comes to, like, if this is about a divorce, or this is about a group of friends, or this is about I just drew a blank. I think that, honestly, you don't know what to do. I think that the primary feeling here is sadness. Like, I'm not sure if you want to have all of this faith, but you're not feeling it. Let's see. All right, let's tell us more. Give us more answers about pile 2. Tell me more about what this decision is. Okay, this could be about love. Tell me more. That one popped up. Judgment. Ooh, right under the 5 of Cups, so maybe wondering whether you should apologize for something. Six of Wands. Interesting. Okay. I'm going to do more cards for you since we need to explore a little bit more. So it feels like that this is about a new romance or a young romance, or it could even be about something like a romance that started that never really took off. So, you know, the Knight of Jugs is the Knight of Cups. So it's about, you know, this person that comes in with a cup of love. Someone coming in to either save you in a situation, or, and when I say save, I mean like, you know, someone that comes in to help, somebody that is reliable, that you can trust, that's not going to do you harm, that's going to have your best interest at heart. It could be a masculine or a feminine. Gender is not something that really is in tarot, I would say. It's about energies, right? And Judgment is about, it's my forgiveness card. It's usually depicted, which is funny, it has like a cow kind of going up here in the spaceship, but usually it's an angel and you have like a bunch of souls underneath and just like raising their hands up like for atonement and for forgiveness. And it can mean forgiveness that maybe you feel is due to you, or you feel like you need to be giving to someone else. But this decision about forgiveness is what's causing these 5 of Pentacles. So maybe you feel like you're not going to be forgiven. Maybe you've done something, but you feel like the only way to have success in this situation is to ask for forgiveness. Because after that, then you have the 6 of Wands. And the 6 of Wands usually is, you know, like a knight that comes from battle, and people are throwing flowers at his feet and have wands, you know, kind of bouncing around the horse and the rider with flowers as well. And here they're represented by the chili clusters. So I think that, you know, this might be a romantic situation. And maybe the reason why you're feeling alone, you're feeling alone and sad about this. And you feel like the only option is, I guess the only way to make this better is by apologizing. So tell me more. If I need to know more. Or if not, outcome, please, Spirit. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Oh, Jesus. Here we go. Okay, hold on. Okay, well, I'm going to say that this is a love triangle, but I might be wrong. So we have the 8 of Swords. 8 of Swords is a card about feeling trapped. Going back to what I said, like you feel like you only have one route that can bring success to this situation. I hate the glare. Sorry about that. Like you only have one route. Like you're tied. You know, there's no way out. You're creating this situation that is all in your head. You're like a caged bird there, thinking that you only have this one decision. Then we get the King of Cactuses, which is the King of Pentacles. And the King of Pentacles is a king that is understanding, kind, trustworthy, extremely trustworthy. This is the King of Pentacles, or Cactus, whatever you want to call it. He's the kind of king that you can trust and say, you know, you could have millions of dollars of jewelry in your house and tell them to house sit and trust that they're going to keep the house safe. You know, he is, you know, he'll do business plans for a city, and you know that he's going to think of everything and everyone that could be impacted by that. That's the kind of king this king is, okay? And then we've got the King of Wands and the Three of Wands. So either this is more of the story that this is a love triangle, because the King of Wands is a charismatic king. He's the kind of king that you would want to date, you know, and this is energy. So this is like a very charismatic person, someone who's charming, able to, you know, schmooze new people that they meet, able to, you know, make that business deal, get that job, you know, super, super attractive, very, people tend to get crushes on this king easily because of how charming this king is. And rare. So when they meet the king, they're like, you know, this king of chilies, they're like, yeah, I've never met somebody like that. This person is amazing, you know. They can't do any wrong. But the flip side of that is that that king can be not as trustworthy as the king of cactus. So then you have the Three of Chilies, which is the Three of Wands. So that's all about making decisions, but you've made the decision already. Or, you know, the woman right here might be a woman that you're trying to decide on who to choose. I mean, if we're talking about a love situation, where one person is going to require a bit more planning than the other. And the other one might be looking good to everybody else. Like this might be the person everybody wants you to choose. But the one that you care about is actually off to herself. And usually this card is depicted with the person standing off at like a port of entry for boats, kind of, sort of, like back in the day, like just like a peninsula, I guess is what it's called, right? And you can see the world. There's like a little earth kind of floating over there, and then the Three Wands. Like that is kind of when I said earlier, I don't know if I said it in pile one or here, like the world is your oyster, kind of like, you know, opportunity for growth, an opportunity for a different life completely can be yours if this is the decision that you make. This is the decision that everyone wants you to make. You know, and aesthetically, she's very pleasing. She's got green eyes, and she's probably very independent and smart and all of that good stuff. But that's what's kind of coming toward me as far as what could be happening here. So you have the Ten of Cups that came out also. And the Ten of Cups is wish fulfillment. It's like, you know, the dream that you've always dreamed that you could have. Like, you know, a lot of people have dreams like, I want to get married, I want to have kids. Some people are like, no, I want to actually not be in a committed relationship, but I want to have a family anyway, or I want to have a great career and be financially stable. Like everybody has their own dream. So whatever that dream is for you, that would be the Ten of Cups, and it also would signify that that decision would be successful. So let's get more about this decision, because, and if this is going the wrong way, this might not be a reading. Like this is kind of what I'm feeling from these cards. More on that, like the King of Cactus, I think that people in your life might see you as a steady king. And, you know, like it makes me think of like, oh, well, because of your status in society, you need to pick the girl that we think is the best, the good girl, or whatever, right? Like, you know how people like stereotypes and they like to say things like that, which I think that's a little toxic, because you're not making a decision that's based on your heart. You're making a decision on what looks good. Whereas the King of Chilies would definitely make the decision based on his heart. That king would not pick this person. This king would pick that person because there's more opportunity with this person, more opportunity to learn, more opportunity to travel and to discover things about himself, herself, all of that. So let's get the direct answer for pile 2. pile 2 and 2 kings. That's interesting. Okay, so what decision should pile 2 make for the highest good? Pile 2. Wow. Okay. You should make a quick decision. Stop ruminating on it. Tell me more. Okay. Okay, so first of all, the universe is like, stop it. So the Eight of Wands is fast-moving passion and energy. Throwing yourself into something and just saying, fuck it. Throwing all caution to the wind. Communicating. If finally making a decision. If it is between two people that you've picked the person and you go for what your passion is. Because wands are all about passion. If it were, for example, the Eight of Pentacles, then I would say go with what's sure, or what other people think would be better for you. The more 3D Earth best decision, right? But since it's kind of rambunctious energy with the Eight of Wands, that I would say that going with this decision here with the Three of Wands and the King of Wands is where the universe is kind of guiding you. Because we got these two cards too, and we have the Knight of Cactus, which is a more immature energy. It is a more immature energy of the King of Cactus. So the Knight of Cactus is somebody that, yeah, you could tell them to go ahead, and I'm going to be out of town, and I need you to feed all my farm animals, and you know that they're going to meticulously feed each animal and spend their days doing that, regardless of how long it takes, and they're trustworthy. But not necessarily who's going to make a fast decision about anything in their life. And they're going to go, like I always think of like that, what is that saying? Is it steady Eddie? Yes, like a steady Eddie type person. And then going that route is going to give you a lot of anxiety. Because this is the Ten of Swords. So the Ten of Swords also, I believe, came out in pile 1 as well. So I'm wondering if you have a couple of themes going on in your life that you're trying to make a decision about. But, it's about being paralyzed. It's, paralyzed by fear, putting yourself in a cage and locking it on purpose and not letting yourself loose. So I think, sure, you can make any decision, right? However, a decision that is more true to who you are, your most authentic self, is where the Ten of Cups lays. Okay? So you want happiness, you want to feel completely content inside with what you're doing and the decision that you're making, or the person that you're picking. It is going to be your most authentic self and not what other people think is good for you. Yeah, I really feel like it's kind of, and it feels confusing. So I feel like there are a lot of little micro decisions that also need to be made in this situation. But I think when it comes down to it, that this is what it comes down to. Like making this decision or that decision will take care of the micro decisions that need to be made on each side. So if you need to ask for forgiveness because going back to the Judgment card, if you need to ask for forgiveness, or if there is an apology that needs to happen, that might be where you're coming from, where there needs to be some kind of like communication to these people about what's happening. Or you need to lean towards your most authentic self, which I don't feel that you're the King of Cactus. I think you're the King of Cactus to people in your life. That's how they view you. But I feel like you're a King of Wands deep down inside. And I think the universe knows who you are. So you're not fooling anyone. And I think that's what a lot of us get wrong about who we are and about this life that we're living, is that we're not fooling anyone. The universe knows, we're only fooling ourselves. So, I'm going to leave it there, and please like and subscribe. My channel is super tiny, but I hope that this spoke to you. If it did, put a little chili pepper down in the comments and let me know what you think. Also, I forgot to mention in the beginning and in pile one, but I'll put something, a little pop-up or something on the video, but I am doing personal readings. So email me at celinegifttarot@gmail.com, and I'll put my email at the bottom too. So, and we can talk about pricing. I think I want to do a sale on the readings, especially now that it's fall, maybe do a fall kind of reading. Okay? So I wish you the best, pile two, and remember, being your most authentic self is always the best way to go, even if it's tough decisions. So take care. All right? Bye. Okay, pile three. You're up. Okay, so the other two readings were fantastic, I have to say. Pile two was a little convoluted. There's a lot going on in that situation, but hopefully your answer is going to be more clear cut. All right. I forgot to mention at the beginning, just a little housekeeping. If you could please like and subscribe, I would really love it. My channel is super tiny and I've had it for many years, and I'd like to see it grow. So I would appreciate if you pass it around to your friends. Some people say they like my voice and they just play the readings in the background because my voice puts them to sleep. So you could do that, or you could just enjoy the readings. I'm doing personal readings as well. Go to celinegifttarot@gmail.com and email me and let me know if you're interested, and we can talk about pricing and how all that works. All right, so let's get started. Let's see what decision. You picked the Howlite. What is the best next step for pile three? This is a beautiful deck. Okay. What is the next best step? Pile three. Next best step. One more card, please. Next best step, please. I already feel like you're not talking to a lot of people about this choice that you have to make. All right. We have the Knight of Swords, we have the Page of Cups, and the Four of Cups. Kind of vague cards, I must say. The Knight of Swords is kind of along the lines of being secretive, in that it is this kind of young, it's not the Page of Swords, it's the Knight of Swords. So not too young, but kind of like, I'd say, the mentality or emotional intellect of like a 19, 18-year-old, 20-year-old masculine energy. But it's the knight that comes in like a wrecking ball, comes in, wanting to be the hero, wanting to have all the good ideas, wanting to jump in and know exactly what to do despite his lack of experience. Okay. The Page of Cups is a younger energy than the Knight, and the Page of Cups is like having a crush on somebody, right? Like having somebody that just tickles something in your heart when you see them. Somebody that you want to be benevolent to, that you have no real obligation to be benevolent to them, giving of your time or conversation or sharing deep ideas and all of that. And then we have the Four of Cups, which really, to me, speaks of apathy. Usually it's depicted with somebody who, look how pretty it looks on camera. It's depicted by like someone sitting under a tree and there is a cloud with offering a cup. And the three other cups are sitting on the side of the person. But they're not even looking at that cup being offered. And it is coming from the damn sky. Like, I would be shocked if I was sitting under a tree and a cup of love gets offered to me. So there's some apathy there. So I don't know if this is about choosing a partner. So let's find out more. All right. Tell me more. What's going on with pile 3 and the decision that they need to make. Interesting. Okay. Definitely decision about love, I think. We have another card about figuring out what direction to go in. The Two of Swords. The Two of Swords, though, usually is depicted with like a person with they've got like a bandana on, kind of covering their eyes. They can kind of see, it's loose. They have like two swords on either side of them. So it's like trying to tune into your intuition, but you're afraid of what your intuition is telling you. You're afraid of what that outcome is going to be. So not being completely surrendered to choosing. And it could be because your hearts of hearts knows the decision that you need to make, which is not bringing a lot of encouragement. It's not bringing a lot to you. The Queen of Swords, I mean, she's the Ice Queen. This is a queen who you don't fuck with. She is a queen who has been through a lot. She's suffered a lot. She has had to endure a lot of battles, and she does not candy coat anything. She's going to tell you straight on up what the fuck. All right. This could be why you are intimidated to make a decision, because you're afraid of what this energy is going to be bringing to the table. Interestingly, she's under the Knight of Swords. So, and the Knight of Pentacles also came out in group 2, but the Knight of Pentacles is about, you know, this guy is a trustworthy, steady Eddie guy. He's the one that's not going to fail on you. He's the one that's going to meticulously do the taxes every year. He's going to be the one that will, you know, you want to start a garden. He's going to be the one that'll start the garden for you in the backyard and pick the right soil and, you know, get all the seeds that are appropriate for the conditions that you live in and all of that. Not necessarily an exciting knight, but a very trustworthy knight. So I keep getting this kind of like redundant hot versus cold and reluctance to make a decision. So I can understand why you're here. That's for sure. So let's see. Tell me more. Two of Pentacles, another decision-making card. The Ten of Wands. Maybe the problem is that you want to make a decision. Maybe there isn't really a decision that needs to be made. I don't know. Let's see. Tell me more. Okay, we got 2 cards here. Temperance and the Sun. Oh, wow. Okay, so Temperance and the Sun. All right, so I feel like this Temperance card is the answer that we need, right? So Temperance, this card is all about making just is about being patient. And I hate this card in that sense, right? Because like when I either listen to readings or I do readings and the Temperance card comes out, I'm like, God damn it, that means we gotta wait. It's the waiting card. But what I like about Temperance is that, and Temperance is important because through Temperance, you're able to make decisions that are more grounded. And like when you look at this card, it's an angel, right? And then she's pouring some wine, or the wine is swirling from her cup to the cup on the bottom, right? Usually it's depicted with someone or an angel that is doing kind of the same thing, but has one foot on dirt and the other foot in like a little river or stream. So it's about being balanced in any situation, whichever situation is given to you, that you're able to be patient and wait. And as my mom used to say, lay in the cut. I don't even know what that means, but every time she said it, I got what she meant. Like, you sit there and embrace the suck. If it sucks, embrace it. And maybe this apathy or decision making that's the problem, is that it's not time to make a decision yet. It's premature. We have 2 knights at page. We have the Two of Wands and the Two of Pentacles, which is seeking balance, but the Two of Wands, a decision has not been made yet. And this is causing a lot of burdens. The Ten of Wands is all about burdens. But what's nice is that it is a 10, and a 10 indicates, an ending approaching. So it's like doing, a long marathon, and by the end you're like walking, barely making it, but you see the finish line. So it's there, it's coming. But having to go through all that process is just exhausting. And then after the Temperance card, it said, you got the Sun card, which is the best card to get, really, in tarot, because it's a major arcana card. So I feel like it's a combination of the 10 of Pentacles and the 4 of Wands. Those are the Lovers, like all of the positive cards in tarot, I feel like are wrapped up in the Sun card. So I think it's a little premature for you to make a decision yet. So I would say that the universe is saying, just lay in the cut, like my mom used to say. Just hold out just for a little longer, and then this decision is not going to be so difficult. You're not going to feel burdened by making the decision, like the 4 of Cups, like feeling apathy for the fact that you have to make a decision, but that it's going to be an easy decision to make. It's going to come to you like, that's what I needed. You just need a little bit more information, a little bit more of, things playing out in your life. And you might be a young person. Maybe you lack experience, whether it be for a job or a romantic situation, or even just starting off at college for the first time. So maybe you just need to give yourself some time to marinate in the situation you're in, so that the Sun can be offered to you by the universe, and you'll get the answers that you need. Isn't this a beautiful card? I love this card. So that's kind of what I'm getting for you, Group 3. And with all this immature energy, it all kind of seals it up for me when I see that you want to be decisive, you want to make a decision, but you might be prematurely making a decision. Because, like the Queen of Swords is a great queen, I think, when you're talking about truth and getting down to the truth of matters. But she'll make a logical decision, and that could hurt you or other people. And that's not kind of the energy that the universe wants you in. You want to be in a more creative energy, the Magician energy. Even the Hermit. I mean, the Hermit is usually, you kind of leaving to go try to make a decision by yourself. Allow